Hey Genderqueer Chat, happy Tuesday, it's Matt. And this week's topic is in regards to old Genderqueer Chat videos. So we've been asked to maybe talk about 3 videos from the past on the Genderqueer Chat channel that have inspired you or kept you coming back to the channel, or talk about the collaborators or someone who might have inspired you and done the same. So back when I started watching Genderqueer Chat, I believe, not sure if there was Saturday or Sunday people, so there might have only been 5 people, and I think they were Sam, Peter, Stefan, somebody, and Micah, and maybe that somebody was JT. I'm not sure if JT had moved on or not, but yeah, Sam and Stefan and Peter and Micah were definitely the ones that I remember. So they're the ones whose videos I started to watch when I first came to the channel. And the first 2 videos I'd like to talk about are ones that Sam had done. So I find Sam really interesting. Definitely one of my favourite all-time Genderqueer Chat contributors, and I loved every single one of Sam's videos. The things that he talks about and the way that he speaks is so insightful and educated and well thought out, and inspirational in that sense as well. So I'm one of those people who you might listen to a video and it might go for 14 minutes, and it might just be nice chitter chatter and there's lots of interesting points there, but then there's like one little nugget somewhere around the 7-minute 35 mark, and you latch onto that and suddenly that video is the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life, because it's exactly what you needed to hear at that particular time, and just yeah, went zing. So definitely watching these videos was came around at a time when my sort of genderqueer identity was fermenting and forming. And so yeah, sometimes it's that one little thing out of a video that just made me go, yep, got a sense of clarity, started me off in a better direction, made sense of what I was thinking about, and that's a great thing about the channel. Anyway, so the first 2 I'll talk about were from Sam, as I said, and the first one was way back from April 2009. I wasn't actually watching at that time, so I must have seen it, had backtracked or linked back, and that was genderqueer as an age thing. So pretty simple topic. They were discussing genderqueer as it appears to be more often than not a identity or a term that's associated with sort of younger people. Why that is, and why don't we see so many older people identifying as genderqueer. So Sam brings up some really interesting points about that in regards to why that may be. I won't bother repeating them, go and watch the video, it was pretty awesome. But I just thought that was an interesting video at the time, I guess because I'm a little bit older, so I was thinking at it from that thing. It also just clarified to me what genderqueer meant and how that can mean different things to different people, and how labels and self-identifying is kind of a really individual process. So that's why that video was important. So go and check that out. It's also kind of interesting now because on the channel we do, I think at the moment, have a more diverse group of collaborators, and we certainly have a few of us who are, say, over 25, no, over 30. So we have a few older people who identify as genderqueer. So I think that's a really good thing to see, and I wonder if Sam, what Sam would have thought back then in 2009 when he made that video. If he knew that a couple of years in the future there would be quite a few people on the very channel that were a little bit older. So that's kind of interesting. The second video that I really loved, and this was probably one of the first Genderqueer Chat videos I saw, and is probably one of the videos that made me keep coming back to the channel. And again, it was Sam, as I said, and this one was from April 2010, and it was expanding binary language and relationships. I think it was in response to a video that somebody else had posted, not on the channel. I think it might have been Freshly Charles, but I'm not entirely sure if that's the case. I should have gone back and rewatched the video. But essentially talking about binary language as it works for trans people or genderqueer people in relationships, and how that can be limiting. This video is great because, as I said myself in a couple of videos back, part of my genderqueer identity and coming to terms with that was also thinking about sexuality and where I fit into that scheme of things. So Sam very much talks about how differently you can identify in relationships, that it's not necessarily based just on your physical sex, so there's definitely that assumption that it is, and how it may be difficult for trans or genderqueer people to sort of navigate the language situation in relationships when we're really stuck in a binary way of thinking. So I found this video really interesting. I guess it was probably the first video that really challenged my perceptions of the binary. At that point, I'd obviously been thinking about trans things for a long time, had been thinking about gender for a long time. I think it was probably this video and coming to the channel that made me really realise that, you know, gender isn't a binary thing, that our binary idea of gender, of male and female, is a bit of a societal construct and isn't necessarily healthy or productive. So that video was great, and go check it out. The third video, or videos, was actually a topic to deal with gender gumbies, and that was about a month after that last one, so I think it was May 2010. So once again, when I first started watching the channel, or was a few months into watching the channel, and at that time there was definitely Micah, Peter, Sam, and I can't remember who else, but they were talking about gender gumbies. So that was a concept that Sam had introduced, that I believe Sam had gone to a gender convention thing and had found out about these gender gumbies. And go back and watch the videos, and may explain a little bit better. But it's basically plotting out your gender identity, your gender expression, physicality and sexuality and attractions on a scale, a binary scale, so it may be a little bit contentious given what I just said. But basically mapping it out between male and female, or masculine and feminine. And the different contributors that week went through and did that. It was a really good way of seeing how they identified on a scale between male and female, so on a genderqueer scale. And that, to me, was a very important video to watch, because much like the previous one, it was one of the first one of the first things I'd seen that really broke down that binary assumption of gender, and let me know that it was okay to have a fluid identity, one that may change over time. It was okay to exist, not necessarily on one of those, you know, male or female poles of the binary, that it's okay to exist somewhere in between, or even that there is something in between. Because when you're stuck in a binary way of thinking, it's pretty easy to overlook that. Very much thinking male, female, masculine, feminine, black and white, not a whole lot of attention given to what's in between. So those videos were great, and I really encourage you to go back and check those out and maybe do your own gender gumby. They're pretty interesting, and I think it would be a good topic for us to challenge with the new group of people on Genderqueer Chat. I'd certainly like to do it, so maybe we'll bring back the gender gumby with the new lineup and see how people identify. Yeah, and so those videos were pretty inspirational to me, and I hold them pretty strongly in my heart. And I'm really proud to be part of this channel for that reason, because definitely, and as I said in a video a couple of videos back, definitely coming to Genderqueer Chat and watching videos on YouTube was a pretty substantially amazing part of my life in regards to coming to terms with my genderqueer identity. So if I hadn't have found this channel and hadn't have heard contributors like Sam and watched these videos that I've been talking about, I think I probably would have struggled with it a lot more. I'm sure I would have come to the same conclusions over time, but definitely just those little things that were said in those videos just helped me along, push me in the right direction, and that's fantastic. So yeah, excited to hear about what videos you found inspiring. Feel free to write yours in the comments, or put a video response. And on the subject of which, next week's topic, as Jack mentioned, is viewer's choice. So if you have a question you'd like to ask us, that you'd like us to tackle, put a response to Jack's video, either a comment or a video response, and we'll work out which one to do, and yeah, we'll challenge that topic. So it might be something that we do on occasions regularly. So if you do have any ideas out there, or something that's sprung up, or something you want us to cover, or even an old topic you want us to revisit, yeah, keep that in your mind, and when a viewer's choice thing comes up, let us know. Cool, well, I'll see you next week. Bye.